Angels, today I'm going to be showing you my Smith machine workout that I did today with my 4 main compound exercises that I absolutely live by when it comes to building the glutes. To start off with, we're starting off with the basic squat, obviously loading the weight either side, and then you're just going to go underneath it and unhook it by rolling it backwards. To make sure that your feet are shoulder width apart, you're keeping your back straight and your chest up high when you're coming up, and you're looking straight ahead of you. And then once you're finished, you just roll it back forwards to lock it back onto the Smith machine. Okay, so next up we have the elevated lunges. This one is a killer, guys, I kid you not. So what we're going to do first is put the foot that you want to target, the leg, that you want to target first on the platform, and then one leg behind. Roll the bar backwards, and then you're just going to do a simple lunge as shown in the video. Make sure your balance is obviously on point at the time your back is straight, and we also want the movement to be nice and slow and controlled. Okay, we don't want no quick rapid movements here, guys. We want it nice and slow and controlled. And then once you're finished on one leg, what we're going to do is just swap over onto the other leg, making sure that, we are moving slowly, because if you are lifting a heavy weight, it is going to be a lot harder. Swap the legs over and do exactly the same again. So as we can see, I've swapped over. We're going to try it again on the other leg. I always find I've got one leg stronger than the other. Struggles, guys, struggles. Good to note that when you're performing the lunge, to make sure that you're pushing up with your heel as you're going up. And obviously that main load is going to be in the front of the quad that is on the main platform. So once you've finished doing the exercise, we're just going to roll the bar forwards like we've done before and remove ourselves from the Smith machine carefully. And as you can see here, I'm just chilling after each set. Moving swiftly on to the RDLs, my absolute favourite when it comes to building the glutes. And with this one, obviously we're going to load the weight, move the bar backwards to let it off the Smith machine. And this is a hip hinge movement, guys. So what we're wanting to do is make sure that we are keeping our legs as straight as we can with a slight bend in the knee, and we are hip hinging our glutes backward. I personally like to imagine that there's a big red button behind my glutes, and I'm trying to push that button by hip hinging my hips backwards. Want to keep our back straight and making sure we're following the path of movement with our head. So we're not looking up, we're not looking, left or right. We're following the movement nice and controlled, nice and slow, guys. And you'll feel it in your hamstrings and your glutes. Feeling any pain anywhere, especially in your lower back, drop the weight and focus on form. Form is honestly so crucial, guys, and we want it to be spot on. Once you're finished, re-rack it, and then moving on to the next exercise, we've got hip thrust, which also is another favourite of mine. Obviously, with this one, we want to make sure that our spine is as neutral as possible. Unfortunately, I couldn't find a platform that was low enough for me for putting my shoulders on, so this one had to do. But with this one, you want to make sure your feet are shoulder width apart. Your knees are at a 90-degree bend when obviously you're in the upwards motion of the movement. To do this, what I like to do is I like to sometimes sit down to begin with. I put my fingers, point one finger where my knee is, and then I bring my heels back up to my finger. And that is usually where your feet should be placed when doing the movement. Obviously, it depends on height as well. If you're taller, you'll have it different for you again. It's just whatever feels comfortable for you, and obviously what works well for you. If you're feeling it in your quads or your hamstrings, that could be where your legs are placed. And so it might just mean that you have to shimmy them in a little bit or shimmy them out. To make sure that you're keeping your chin tucked to your chest in this movement. So making sure that, I like to imagine I've got an apple under my chin and I've got to keep it there. Remember, guys, this is just a hip hinge movement. So we only want to be moving our hips up and down. We don't want to be moving our whole upper body loads. We don't want to be moving anything else too vigorously. This is just a hip hinge movement. If it helps, maybe practicing with a lighter weight to begin with before increasing the load. And always use a barbell pad, because otherwise you'll bruise stupidly like I did when I first ever tried to do a hip thrust. Use a barbell pad, make sure it's thick and good quality and it's going to last you. I got mine off Amazon, and honestly it's the best thing I've ever bought. Definitely recommend. If you want me to link that, just let me know and I can put it in the comment section. But yeah, that is my workout so far. I hope you guys have enjoyed it and you can follow it along, save it, use it next time you're at the gym. And yes, I hope everybody smashes their workout.